On behalf of my family, my brothers David and Joe are sitting here with me today. We welcome everyone here. And that brief reception downstairs just was overwhelming for an opportunity to see that everybody here is from a different tier in this industry. Developers, civic, engineers, architects, advisors, trade unions, contractors, vendors, suppliers, everybody that we've worked with for the last over 50 years. And today to see you all here, I can only think of one thing, is friendship. And what binds us together to do this work that we do every day is the loyalty and trust that we have for each other. And that is something that a building can't really make. But just the years of our association together is what makes this event so special. So I'm much appreciative of all of that. The history of this building, when we first saw it, I said, oh my God, who would want that? You saw the photos. It was built in 1940 by the Army Corps of Engineers as a multi-trade machine shop to support the war effort for the US Navy. And we went through the public bidding process with an RFP and won the designated development for this property. And when they asked us what we would do with it before we were designated, we said, well, we're a multi-trade metal shop. They said, what? You're kidding. I said, no, that's what we do. So to historically rehabilitate this building to every detail of the windows and the doors was just a labor of love. And for everybody here that had a part in that, we thank you so much. We're ever grateful. We would never have attempted nor completed this project without everyone's help, and everyone is in this room that helped us. So thank you very, very much. This building represents a turning point in our company's history. For over 55 years to the next 70 years, which this lease is. And what this represents is a center for collaboration. Manufacturing, sure, plumbing and ductwork and piping, sprinkler work and welding, all of that is well and good, but it's everybody else that we can bring here is what's important to us. And that's what the future holds. That's how this industry will change. And what constantly reminds me of this change is the location of this building. I look out here and I see an ocean that's constantly changing. It's ominous, it's majestic, but it's changing every day. And it reminds me that we have to change and adapt to face what this ocean will do soon. And then I look this way and I see the city. I see the city that's changed before my eyes for the last, I've been in this business a long time, since the 70s. And it's changed dramatically. And so I say, how do we change as an industry to continuously support this city in new and greater ways? And that's all of our challenge. And what we need to do this is opportunity. We need opportunity for all. And that's why we moved to this city, for opportunity to provide people that otherwise would have none a place here at the table and in this job and in these building trades that we all call our careers. And that's why we're here. We want people that will work with their head, their hands, and their heart, because those are the true artists. And that's the diversity that we all need. We need differing opinions to promote innovation and ideas and life experiences that are different. We need new faces for the future, because the ocean's changing and the city is changing. And so we cannot stay the same. And who other than the champion of opportunity? It's my pleasure to introduce Mayor of Boston, Martin J. Walsh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And I want to thank David and Joe and all the Cannistraros, the next generation of young people. And it's great to see women in the next generation as well, the Cannistraros, for being here. I met John probably about 7 years ago when I just took over the building trades. Mark Fortune was here. We went over and met with him to talk about the industry. And he started talking about what he wanted to do in the business. And he had no idea what my future plans wanted to be or were. He really didn't know me. And we started talking about a whole bunch of different things, which I'll touch upon in a second. To all the people that are here, all the owners, everyone who had something to do with this project, thank you. I want to give a special shout out to Brian Golden, the director of the BPDA and EDIC. I want to thank Rich McGinnis, who's running the master plan and does so much in our city. I want to thank everyone from the city in the different departments in the city for the great work you do. I want to congratulate everyone involved in this project. I want to introduce a few of the people that are here that are going to be, that are part of this conversation and part of what's happening here. And that's Peter Gibbons, the business manager of the sprinkler fitters, Brian Kelly, the business manager of the pipe fitters, Harry Brett, the business manager of the plumbers, and I didn't see, I see Russ Bartash, the secretary treasurer of the sheet metal workers. Thank you, all the trade, the mechanical trades that are here today, for your great work. Last week in Boston, we had the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Actually, it ended Monday, and we had 250 mayors from around America come to our city. And every single mayor to a person was talking about how incredible our city is. And they had a chance to sit down with our housing team and our economic development team and what we're doing on diversity and all these different things we're talking about. But on Monday, we had a meeting over at the hotel, which Danny Mulhern led, and they were talking about Operation Exit, about how we're using the power of a job, the power of the building trades, the power of our employer community to really use that to get young people that are caught up in gangs and violence and no opportunity to turn their life around. I want to thank the Cannistraros who were part of that, because they sat on a panel with Danny and with some of our young people from Operation Exit that were there. And I want to thank them because John just talked about it. We are changing as a city. We're changing as a country, and I honestly feel, I love the way we're changing as a city and not too excited as how we're changing as a country right now, because we're creating opportunities in our city, and what this presents, what this project presents, is that opportunity. This project represents good jobs, good wages, a wide range of workers. This project talks about, makes creativity and innovation happen. It builds the best about our past and about how we move in the future. Boston is really moving on all cylinders right now. As John talked about, the growing area, if you look at the waterfront in Boston, it's changed in the last 30 years. My first job as a construction worker was on Commonwealth Pier. And you look, when I was on Commonwealth Pier, nothing was there. The Fish Pier bar was across the street. The Seaport Hotel hadn't happened yet. The Moakley Courthouse wasn't built. Vertec wasn't here. There was parking lots and abandoned buildings and empty space. Land that no one really thought of at that time that you could actually create innovation. So you look at the other side and you think of innovation, you think of, You think of what that represented years ago, and that represented the fishing industry. What this building represented was vessels and parts of vessels were made here to help us win World War II. That changed the course of the world, right here in this very spot. It provided jobs at the time that were needed. It provided opportunities at the time that were needed. It provided the generation, the greatest generation, that opportunity to earn a living and move forward and help the middle class. Fast forward 75 years later. Down the other end, we talk about innovation. We have General Electric down there. We have Amazon down there. We have so many great companies that are coming to our waterfront that are creating innovative jobs and solutions to help build the middle class. When you think about what's happening in this very building, it's the next couple generations later, and what's happening here? You're producing jobs for the middle class, allowing families, people to come in here and support their family. Young people come here, work, and raise a family. That's what's happening. Today's Boston continues to make things happen because we need innovation. We need discoveries. We need product and machinery. We need arts and design. And that's the strength of our talent, and that's what's happening right here in this very building. In the city of Boston, in the last 4.5 years, we've added over 100,000 jobs to our economy. 100,000 people that weren't working here in the beginning of 2014 are working here now. But it's more than numbers. Thank you, Harry. It's more than numbers. It's about the quality of jobs that we're bringing to our city with good pay and benefits. It's about the creativity of those jobs we're bringing to our city because of the ideas of today's workforce in creating the jobs of tomorrow. It's about access to those opportunities to the community that needs them the most. In 2011, when I took over the building trades, I sat down with the people I talked about today and other people, and we said, we're going to create a program, a pre-apprentice program that came out of a project labor agreement for development of the Old Colony housing development. And we said, we're going to create this program to create pathways into the trades to give everyone the opportunity. And we're able to do that. And we're able to give pathways to over 200, almost 300 people of color and women and low-income families the opportunity to get into the building trades because they didn't have an uncle who happened to run the laborers union, or they didn't have a cousin that was a business manager somewhere else, or they didn't have a friend whose father ran a construction company that knew the business manager to get them in the back door. That's what's happening today. And we need to continue that. We need to continue to create opportunities. This site here, and what's happening at this site is absolutely amazing. It's fulfilling the full potential of the Marine Industrial Park, creating opportunities, what we're going to do on the maritime side, but also creating opportunities for jobs. Jobs of all different skill levels. I didn't graduate from college until I was 40-something years old. I was fortunate to go to college. Not everyone has that opportunity to go to college. Give people the opportunity to work with their hands in a trade. And it's not just about getting dirty, it's a skilled trade. Because not anyone can come up and cut a pipe that I think I'm going to try and do later on, but I can't do that because I don't have a union book and there's those trades. I have a laborer's book. I'll clean up the mess that somebody makes today. But I want to, what's happening down here is incredible. You see the Skanska office building going up. We have a new hotel on Parcel 9. We have Innovation Square has topped off their project on 6 Tide Street. We're working on all kinds of different projects down here and trying to continue the excitement going on. The operations in this building will have as many as 200 workers working here. And they came here for advantages that the park has to offer. Easy access to downtown, Boston transportation, a skilled workforce, a city that's committed to protection and expanding our industrial base. But the power of the park is not what happens here. Projects like this park will help us inspire, innovate, and make us the manufacturing hub in developing areas all across our city. It's providing training that can help our workforce develop alongside our industrial base. Boston's succeeding today, and we need to continue to make sure we diversify the industries that are in our city so that everyone has an opportunity to work in these industries. Because like I said earlier, not everyone is set up to work in the tech companies that are on that side of the park. But between that side and what's happening here, we can pretty much cover everyone that we want to make sure has a successful future. I want to thank you all for being here today. This is an exciting day for the city of Boston. And again, I want to thank the Cannistraros, and I want to thank Brian Golden and Rich and the team here for making this incredible project happen. Have a great day.
Thank you. I need to mention some people before we move on. And those are the four gentlemen sitting here in the front row wearing the blue Cannistraro shirts. I'll point them out. And those in the back, they didn't come in the front row even though there's seats with their names on it, chickens. So I'm going to point out Dave Mulligan, foreman of the sheet metal shop, Billy Gardner, foreman of the fire protection shop, Mike Warford, foreman of the plumbing shop, and Ed Nabadowski, foreman of the welding shop, who basically moved in from 3 different locations and facilities, Mike Jameson and Aaron Carlson, 4 locations, to get under one, starting in March, to get under one roof, all organized, all unpacked, and continually making product to support over 600 people in the field on a daily basis without missing a beat. And they deserve a round of applause. And so that leads us to a few awards that we'd like to bestow on some lucky folks. Everybody's lucky. I wish we could give one to everybody, but they're antique, so there's only a couple in the world. And I'd like to bring up my brother Joe Cannistraro for the first award.
Thanks, John. I won't be long. My brother John has said a lot about our mission and our vision, as well did Mayor Walsh, and I don't think I could top what they said. Just wanted to mention that this first award, this Fid Award, will go to Mayor Walsh and the City of Boston for sharing the same vision that we have. And you know, I think a lot about my dad who started the business, 55 years ago. He was one of those people that needed a break. He had a mentor he worked for in Waltham in a plumbing shop. He said, you should go to college, learn to become an engineer. This country needs engineers. And he became a mechanical engineer, and he started this business, and he had no customers. He had a bang on every door. He had some of the customers, he had to leave a stack of business cards this high. And ultimately, he did get in, and he created and set the groundwork for this, but it was his attitude of that really won the day. He says, when you hire people, hire on attitude and teach experience. And that philosophy goes to what we do today in our business. And, as the mayor said, people need an opportunity to teach experience. Well, you're going to get that experience right here. We're going to have over 100 people working, getting experiences, new people coming in the door, and we're going to be building product here, and it's going to be built right there in the city. And so for the mayor to share that same vision that we have for the next generation and the generation of that, after that in our family, and to honor my dad's legacy. And it's also having the confidence in us. I remember 3 years ago, going before the BRA, their meeting, what are we doing? We're just some plumbers in Watertown. He said, well, we can do this. No one's done it. It's been 20 years vacant. And we convinced them. And I have to think that they had the confidence in us because they know what our passion is and our abilities to deliver on that. And the rest is, you can see right here. So just to thank the mayor and the city of Boston for having that confidence in us and to sharing our same vision and our mission for this city. I'd like to present the first Fid Kennedy Award.
designed by the Artists for Humanity, and it says tools of the trade. And it says Fid. It's a nautical term, a noun, a wooden pin used to part strands of rope. And this street is named Fid Kennedy, after JFK's uncle, Thomas Fid Kennedy, because he was a longshoreman and he used the fid all the time to untie the knots. And we use a different acronym for fabrication, industry, and design, FID. So it's a FID. It says, in gratitude, dedication and gratitude for your help with us in the retooling of Fid Kennedy. And the title of the award is Tools of the Trade. So they did a wonderful job, Artists for Humanity, and our friends here, Susan Rogers. I'd like to bring my brother David up for the next award, please.
Well, I'll be even briefer than Joe. So for our next award, I decided to Google the definition of architect, not to give away the winner too early in the talk, but there you go. A person who designs buildings and in many cases also supervises their construction. And I thought that's going to be the worst definition of an architect I've heard, at least for our architect. As John and Joe mentioned a couple of years ago, when we first thought that this parcel was going to be a reality for us to win, we said, we need a team. We can't do this ourselves. And so our first call went out to our architect, and we said, hey, we got this old building in South Boston Industrial Park. We want to make it a fab shop and make the historical preservations on it. He said, I'm in. What do you need? And so that was three and a half years ago. And from that day forward, we really built our team around this architect. He brought in so many consultants and for permitting, for historical renovations, through the design development process, budgeting, means and methods, contractor selection, you name it, he was there, and a lot of people skills he needed with our particular team too. So we're very happy to have had him on our team, and our award goes to BH+A, Joel Bardman, principal, and his colleague Scott Wyatt, who was handling so much of the day-to-day on site. So we want to thank you for being part of our team. You heard a lot about the vision, and so an architect's job for our project is make our vision a reality, something we can really make it real for us, and that's what an architect did for us, not just design it.
Half of you folks kicked me out of your office after the first 2 or 3 meetings. This next recipient put up with me for 2 years in the mud every day. He supervised the construction, all the trades, every day, and built this place to keep us happy, no matter what. Pierre Joas, where are you? Superintendent for Consigli. Okay, now for the grand piece de resistance. So before all this, a little housekeeping. Check out the pop-up art, it's phenomenal. And please stay for lunch and tours. Great catered affair, doing a wonderful job. We have great food and some camaraderie, and guaranteed everybody could be out of here by 1 o'clock. It would be a shame to not eat the food. So please stay and enjoy the art too. It's just phenomenal. That's the museum artist in residency program that we have in Watertown with the plumbing museum. That's just, they do some great work. So with that, I'd like to call up a pipe cutting champion, Alexis Jones from Cannistraro, first year sprinkler fitter apprentice from Building Pathways candidate, working on the Harvard-Alston Science and Engineering Program. She was selected by her supervisor. She's the person most deserving of this embarrassment, no? For her hard work and smile. So with that, we're all gonna come up, put our PPE on, and get this party started. Thank you all.
Good.